Last of Us 2 was one of my most anticipated games, not only of the year, but of the generation. I had high hopes for this game. Upon completing the first Last of Us, my hopes for a sequel, they were a bit mixed because I believe that in a world of this particular making, a world of zombie apocalypse, or a world of disaster, it is only fitting that, some of your main characters might not survive. And upon beating the first game, it was such a sigh of relief when both Ellie and Joel made it through unscathed. And I thought to myself, if there were ever to be a sequel, I don't believe that one of them is going to survive it. It just wouldn't make sense storyline wise. It might become boring, it might become repetitive, and it might just become something we've already seen before. If it's just cookie cutter, everybody's okay. And so I knew that upon beating the first game, that one of them was not going to make it. Now, maybe I should have said this before, but there's going to be slight spoilers in this video, nothing too major, and nothing that just flat out ruins the game for anyone. But I want to talk about something that is really bothering me in the gaming community. And this topic is, why are people taking to internet, to Twitter, to YouTube, and why are we as gamers spoiling experiences, spoiling storylines, and spoiling plot points for our fellow gamer? I don't quite understand why this has become the new thing. I'm trying to wrap my head around what a spoiler gets out of ruining the experience for somebody else. If you call yourself a gamer, I don't understand it. Me personally, I have never done that. I know that it's jokes and it's all fun and games, that Xbox has no games, Xbox doesn't have anything to play, every Xbox exclusive goes to PC, and I get that. I get that it's all fun and games. And we all take to Twitter, social media, and we kind of a little bit dibble dabble and participate in the console wars that have been going on since the 1980s. It first started off with Nintendo versus Sega. For a lot of you guys weren't even born then, but it was much more cutthroat back in the day. There would be commercials of Nintendo. How did it go? I'm trying to think of it. It was something like Sega does what Nintendo don't. It was just, they were cutthroat in your face. It was Sega versus Nintendo, and it was all clean, fun, competitive, and it was good. Each company was virtually pushing each other to do better. However, me as a kid, I never really participated in that type of mentality because my friend had a Super Nintendo, I had the Sega. So it's kind of like, hey, whatever great game comes out for Super Nintendo, I would go to my friend's house and play it. And whatever great game comes out for Sega, he can come to my house and play it. But now we push to 2020, and it just seems like gamers on the other side of the fence, gamers that only game on Nintendo, only game on PC, only game on Xbox, are looking at the games that Sony has, especially the ones that have a strong narrative, and they just feel like they have to ruin it for everybody else. And I don't get that, and I want to address that in this video. I'm trying to understand the mentality of a spoiler. Now, Last of Us Part 2 was in my absolute top 5 most anticipated games of 2020. Hands down. I even went out and bought the $170 collector's edition. But here we are, and I have not gotten even 1 hour into the game, and at this point every major story beat has pretty much been spoiled for me. And this wasn't me going out on the internet and looking it up. It was just random people blurting out what happens in the plot. And I feel like I couldn't avoid it. I tried everything I could. But the latest one was, I actually went to Angry Joe's channel, and despite everything surrounding Angry Joe as far as the allegations, that's neither here nor there. He gave the game, I believe, a 6 or a 7 out of 10, whereas he previously gave Last of Us Part 1 a 10 out of 10. So I pretty much just went to his review just to look at the like versus dislike ratio. That's all I wanted to see. But lo and behold, the second I clicked on his video, the first thing that pops up is like the biggest story spoiler in the entire game. A random guy just blurts out the entire spoiler. And there's nothing I can do about that. And yeah, you can argue, well, just stay away from anything Last of Us. Yeah, I understand that. I completely get that. When a new game drops that is very heavy in story, yes, you should absolutely just avoid any kind of anything that has to do with said game. You know, for example, when the next I can't even think of what the next heavy story game coming out. I'm not for sure, but we'll say for example Ghost of Tsushima. If Ghost of Tsushima is a strong narrative-based game, you should absolutely avoid social media because there will be spoilers out there. I'm trying to figure out why people do that. What do you get out of spoiling a game for someone that you will never see, you will never meet, and most likely never talk to? I don't get it. What's the point? Why ruin my experience? I mean, are you sitting at home laughing? Are you enjoying yourself? I don't get it. Because at this point, I'll be completely honest. I actually don't even feel like playing Last of Us anymore. I basically already know what happens, and I don't feel like playing the game. I don't see a purpose anymore because without even looking for spoilers, they've come at me, they've come my way, they've been sent in direct messages, they've been posted on Twitter, they've been posted on YouTube. Even before the game released, there were spoilers. I don't get it, man. It's like we don't really see this in any other media, man. Just imagine if Avengers Endgame had the ending been ruined. Like, how many people would have not gone to see the movie? So, if you're a person that enjoys spoiling games, and I hope if you are, you see this video, I would just like to know why. What do you get out of it? Does it make you feel good about yourself? Do you laugh a little bit? Like, what's the point? What's the point of ruining my experience? And if you're an Xbox guy and you're a little bit salty about the fact that Xbox hasn't really had very strong narrative-based games since 2013, why not just buy a PlayStation? Why not just buy a box that can play the games that you want to play versus ruining experiences for other gamers? I mean, guys, we gotta stop doing this behavior. It disgusts me, man. It's abysmal. It's ridiculous. Why are we doing this to each other? You know, when the next Halo drops, I'm not going to look online, watch a man play through Halo, and then just spout out every spoiler. That's an Xbox exclusive, not coming to PlayStation. You're not going to see me doing that. So why do you guys feel it's necessary to spoil games? Why is that what you do with your time? How about find more constructive things in your life? Get a job, get a girlfriend, play basketball, play football, play soccer, go fishing. Like, find better things to do with your free time than ruining experiences for everybody else. This is Exvalos, people, and I'm out of here. Until next time.